Fun, a word often associated with the outcome of enjoying something. If you enjoy something, it is fun as a result. But where did fun go? I could have sworn it existed at one point in my life, but it just isn't here anymore. It's vanished. All the fun and enjoyment in media has been taken away. Anything that is deemed fun eventually is sold to someone else and turned into a mindless carcass that even buzzards wouldn't go near with a 10-foot pole. This video isn't going to be a detailed analysis into the downfall of a company or talk about where one specific thing in general caused the downfall of a brand like my prior videos. This instead is going to be more in line with the content that I grew up with. A video talking about something that I'm passionate about, even if it does not get any views or views that I'm expecting for most of my videos. I don't care. This is not for views. Fun has been turned to a mindless factory, spewing out insultingly, mind-bogglingly insulting cash grab carcasses of once great things. Want to get a samurai armor set that was once unlocked by getting 1,000 melee eliminations in games? Pay $40. Want to get a rainbow camo that was once unlocked by completing camo challenges? Pay $20 per weapon you want it on, and only if they decide to release a bundle for the weapon you want it on itself. Want to play this part of the game at all, period? Pay upwards of $250 for this single edition just to unlock PvE content. You know who you are. Want to unlock access to one of the most iconic characters in a series? Pay $130. You know who you are. Want to unlock all the DLCs and a mediocre space shooter from a once beloved and high pedestal developer? That's a cool $190 on sale. Now, I'm not judging DLC or pay content. One of my most favorite games was off buying DLC from players. But that's not the point here. I started gaming at a young age on an old Sega Genesis hand down from my father. At the time, I didn't know what graphics or gameplay or anything were. I just knew that what I was doing was fun. That what I was playing evoked happiness and joy. As time went on, I got my PlayStation 2 and Wii and a GameCube. Between those three consoles, my happiness and joy in gaming had peaked. But why then? Why at that point? Why at a sudden young age did my happiness and joy peak? And why have I yet to find some semblance of it in modern times? Well, the games. Back then, what you got was what you got. Unless you were playing an online MMO of some sort, gaming was what you got out of the box. You didn't have day one bug fixes or weekly shop updates or content drops or events or even anything of that nature. What was in the box was the game. All the unlockables were there, out of the box. You did the challenges that the game said and you got them. But all that is known. We all know how old games worked. We all know that whatever was in the box was what we got, for better or for worse. There's no point in talking about it over and over again. But yeah, we do. And why is that? Could it be nostalgia, or rose tinted glasses, or were things simply just better back then? As with every question, the answer itself is inevitably complicated, and as such, I won't answer it. It's up to your interpretation, as it's entirely subjective to one's own opinions. Nevertheless, as fun peaked and so did my joy and everything, something was looming, and it was looming and getting ever so closer as time went on. Something that would ultimately change the way I saw things as a whole. Something that transcends everything and everyone. Something that no matter what we do, we cannot avoid it. Even if we try to avoid it, and of course, that being as the years went on, the bullying in my life grew to a climactic point near the end of elementary school. I got into fights with people and generally was a child who disliked school greatly. But I refused to tell the reasons why. I had told myself that everything was okay, when in fact it wasn't. In fact, things were not okay. As I got into middle school, a sort of grace period started for a brief few weeks. I was enjoying school to some degree, but it wasn't fun. Not as fun as early elementary. My short grace period plummeted like crypto after the most recent mining crash. The process of everything hit me at once. I was getting older, I was confused, I wanted to experience something that was fun, but ultimately nothing was fun. At least for that period of time. I went down a dark path that, well, I'm just not going to speak about, but you can fill in the blanks. It's best to avoid that period for YouTube guidelines' sake. Nevertheless, as time went on, I found some semblance of fun in my life. I had made friends online and was playing games with them. A new concept for me as I only got into online gaming in 2013. I was discovering new things. It was what I had dreamed of, but the title of the video is What Happened to Fun, after all. So where does all that tie into? Well, I had finally found fun again. I was playing with new friends online from around the world and even such few from real life. Things were fun and happy, and the happiness lasted until about 2019. The year when it all came crashing down. The year the fun had ended like a sugar crash after a big Sunday. I was suddenly left without any friends. Everyone was moving on. Everyone was busy. Everyone suddenly had things to do. And I was left alone again with myself. And then if that wound wasn't big enough to kill someone, 2020 happened. But ironically, 2020 was my best year in a while. I had made new friends as a result of the lockdown. The fun had returned. Well, something was still looming and growing. Referencing back to earlier in the video, the bombardment of microtransactions and paid DLC and the microdosing of content that has time and time again drip fed to us like pigs. That had reached a climactic point in 2020 as well. Sure, throughout the years of my fun and not stages, the predatory content grew exponentially worse as it went on. That is true. What started with gold horse armor is now $250 for promised DLC that was only $150 months ago. You know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, but you know who you are. As a result, I've grown exponentially cynical and intolerant to these actions. You charge me for the privilege of waiting for future content, I don't buy your game. And you know what? This is why indie developers are winning the war. What they give you is what you get. They don't microdose drip feeding your content that publishers have continually done for nearly a decade of game releases. What they give you is what they give you. Sure, they may release DLC for their games, but they're indie developers. They actually rely on the money. They're not multi-billion-dollar companies with CEOs who can buy a mega yacht every year. They're normal people generally. They generally are working 9 to 5 jobs. So to answer my question of what happened to fun, it went to the indie developers. And not only gaming, but also filmmaking. Small-time directors and developers are where the true innovation is. So before you go to buy the newest Shooty McGunfair game number 200, look at indie development. You'll probably find something that offers more for a third or even a fourth of that price. Instead of buying Cities Skylines 2, go buy Manor Lords. A single guy is developing that game, and it costs less than both of the games even when they're on sale. So I leave you with this. Support your indie developers. Support your indie filmmakers. And with that, thank you for watching. Make sure to have a nice day and goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.